Hey everybody, here for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Season 3, Episode 3. Let's get into it. So it starts off with Shonda and Willie, and Willie is trying to clean up the mess that was made. Shonda is like, when they were younger, when they first got married, she was expecting for them to make mistakes, but they have years in their relationship, so she doesn't feel like these are the type of mistakes he should be making. So she's letting Willie know, hey, you know what? You've been selfish all this time. It's time for me to be selfish. So Willie is like, I don't know what I can say or do to make it up to you, but I'm going to try my best, and I'll never make this mistake again. So they basically left it on that note, but I'm like, Willie, you ain't gotta be thirsty. I mean, look at your wife. First of all, y'all are a beautiful couple, okay? You don't need to be texting nobody else. You don't need to be talking to nobody else. She's beautiful. You're handsome. Well, you're fine. Like I said in the other video, you're fine. But, yeah, like, it's unnecessary. And that's, like, drama you don't need. And then it seems like old girl wanted... From what it looked like, she wanted an Academy Award for her acting skills because she was just over the top in them scenes or whatever. But moving on. So now we get to Princess and Brandy, and they're meeting up at a random location. So, Princess comes to this store, and Brandy explains to her that it was an online boutique that she turned into a store to profit more money. So when Brandy asked her where did she get the money from to open the store, she said that she used the $27,000 that Max gave her for her son. But she's like, she knows that the store will make double the money that he gave. With the success of the online store becoming a storefront, she knows that the $27,000 that she used, she could make it back double time and, put that in his college savings. But, Princess is like, well, dang, how you steal from your baby, to open up a storefront or whatever. So Princess is like, so this is what you've been doing all this time? And here it is, Ray has been thinking that you've been running around with me planning for the wedding. And she's like, well, that's the next thing I want to get into with you. She was like, because I have been telling Max that I've been doing wedding planning and stuff with you. So Princess is like, okay, so you've been using me as your alibi. She said, yeah, I won't lie, I have been using you as my alibi, but she said, I will tell him when the time is right, but I need to lie until the time is right. So I'm like, Brandy, he gonna find out sooner than later. You telling Princess, she gonna tell Ray. So we meet Lyrica, who's a songwriter, and she wrote for all of these people. I think she said Beyonce, Chris Brown, people like that. So she's shooting a music video, and her fiance A1, he's a producer, and they're both pretty well known in the game, but they're trying to go from being like background to foreground. So he said that he bought his mom a place, but there's no privacy. And Lyrica's mom is just as bad. And her mother comes to the video shoot, and they're just worried about her behavior. So Lyrica's mom, her name is Lyrica too, and she used to sing, I think, with Tina Turner, somebody like that back in the day. And Lyrica's mom basically is, one of those mothers who hover over her child or whatever. And, both their mothers are just like bad, like they affect their relationship. So Lyrica says that she has a showcase coming up. She invited her mom, and A1 is worried about her mother's behavior because there's going to be important people at the showcase, and he doesn't want her to miss the opportunity or the mom to mess up the opportunity or whatever. So we get to Princess and Ray J, and he explains that he ripped up the prenup because he didn't want pressure with it. So they start discussing Moniece, and Princess is like, she wants to handle Moniece and talk to her face to face. and whatnot. So Ray J is like, listen, I smashed Moniece years ago for like a half a second. It wasn't nothing important. Nobody cares, let's move on from it. So Princess is like, no, I'm going to talk to her face to face and see what's going on because this is ridiculous. So she tells Ray about, the store. And Ray is like, wow, she took the money from Brandis and, use it for the store. And she's like, yeah. So she's like, promise that you won't tell Max. And they pinky sweared or whatever. So now we get to Nikki, Nia, and Tierra. And Nikki is revealing that she's dating 2 people and that she let Fizz go for lying. So she's like, the 2 people that she's dating, they don't know about each other. She's just having fun. She's over the double standard of, men being able to date multiple women at once. And, it's not a problem. But when women do it, we're called hoes and all. It is a double standard because people swear that when you're dating somebody, you're sleeping with them. And not necessarily you have to be sleeping with them. You just have options. There's nothing wrong with that. And, it really is a sad double standard because you can have options just to see what you like. You don't have to be sleeping with the person. You can just see what personality traits people have that you mesh with and what you like. You just pick what you like and what you don't like. And then if these people are potential people to be in a relationship with, then you decide that's who you want to be in a relationship with. But men can do it, women can't. That's the double standard. So Nikki is just figuring things out with her life, but she's having fun. She's young. She can do that. So I'm all here for it. Y'all know I love me some Nikki, baby. So now we get to Moniece and Princess, the confrontation. And, Princess feels like she crossed the line. And Moniece said, well, you crossed the line when you started talking about my kid. You're always attacking me or whatever. And Princess was like, you know what I find funny about Moniece? Moniece always wants to play the victim. She's the type of person who could dish it but can't take it. And I'm like, that is definitely true because Moniece always has a mouthful to say about people. But let somebody say that back to her and she's all of a sudden, Bino, that's my safe word, Bino. And it's like, stop. So, Princess is basically like, whatever you got to say to me, say it to my face. So Moniece apologizes. Princess doesn't feel like it's sincere, doesn't care about sincere. Sincere. She doesn't really care for the apology. And, so Moniece was like, well, this conversation is over. So Princess is like, you don't get no more chances to talk about me. And then she was about to run and hit Moniece. But Moniece left. And she was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not apologizing no more. I said what I had to say, and that's that. So, now we get to Lyrica performing at the showcase. And we meet Lyrica's mom. Her name is Lyrica also, like I said. So, she wants Lyrica to be the best. And, she's telling Lyrica, oh, well, you could do this, you could do that. And Lyrica... Lyrica is just looking at her mom like, my performance was good, just relax. And, she basically took over. So they started talking about their mothers, and Lyrica pointed out that, Mama Lyrica pointed out that that A1's mom, it's too many damn Lyricas, that A1's mom is just as disrespectful. And Lyrica sees that A1 and her mother, they are forever arguing. So it's like always some drama. And that is tough. When your parents are that involved in your relationship, it becomes a headache. So now we get to Willie, Max, and Ray. And they're making a cheat song for a compilation album. And Ray was like, he doesn't necessarily have a date set for the wedding. And that kind of had, Max like, really? But she's been running around doing wedding plans and all of that with Princess. And he's like, yo, something is going on. I want to catch her red-handed. So let's go on a ninja mission. So Ray J, he's like, I'm not going to tell Max flat out what's going on. I'm just going to, point him in a direction and hope that he figures it out himself. So They arrive at Kosamia to catch Brandy or whatever, and Brandy and Princess are there to check out the competition. So Max is there and he's asking questions or whatever, and Princess reveals to Brandy that she told Ray about the store. So Brandy was like, well, this is the last time I'm ever going to tell Princess a secret because she can't hold water. And I'm like, well, it shouldn't even be a secret. You should tell your husband what's going on, because if he was doing something like this and the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't like that he was hiding this from you. So, I mean, you can't really be mad at nobody but yourself. So now we get to Fizz and Moniece. And Fizz confronts Moniece about the whole Nikki thing, and he feels like he rushed into moving with Moniece because Moniece now has this weird attachment to him. So he was trying to move out while she wasn't there, but he's like, he doesn't want to have a kid with her. He already has a kid with her, and the situation is crazy. So he doesn't want to have another kid with her, and the situation is not going to get any better, and that she's a loose cannon because she's cursing out people and messing up job opportunities for him. So, you know, he feels like she's attacking everything around him and messing up his business. So he decides that he's just gonna leave, and she feels like all that she's done for him, he's being ungrateful. But I'm like, Moniece, your mouth be writing checks that your ass cannot cash, and you need to chill. Like, some of these arguments, you don't even need to react the way that you react. Like, she be on social media going ham. So Fizz moved out, and that was the end of that. So now we get to Lyrica and A1, and they're home talking about having a alone time, but that's like interrupted real quick because A1 mother walks in. Now Lyrica says that, you know, she paid, her and A1, they pay the bills there or whatever, but Lyrica's mother treats her like she's a guest, and she was supposed to only be staying there for 2 weeks, and it turned into months. So Pam walks in and she's hella belligerent. First of all, I don't like talking about people's mothers, but I'm sorry, A1 mother is like ignorant. Like, she walked in with this dress that she shouldn't have been wearing. It don't look like she had on a bra with said dress, and then she had this raggedy wig on. Like, I just couldn't. Like, she just the epitome of ratchet. If you want to see ratchet, look at A1's mother. Sorry, I'm just calling a spade a spade. So she's belligerent and got smart remarks to say, saying that they can't get along and that he spends money on Lyrica so that Lyrica can look good. And Lyrica's like, please, I got my own money or whatever. And she's like, yeah, and you think you a diva. You and your mother, y'all think y'all divas or whatever. And Lyrica's like, what? So then she told me she was saying something like, you know, you could get the fake work done, the fake titties, the fake ass. And she's like, well, you look like you need work done. You need to suck that gut in. She's like, what gut? As soon as she said what gut, whoever the cameraman is, I'm going to say this, whoever the cameraman was in this scene, you're an asshole. Because they zoomed right in on her gut that she was trying to pretend wasn't there. So I'm like, yeah, that gut. That said gut right there. That's the gut they talking about. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I can't. Like, that scene was so ratchet. So now we get to the end of the episode where it's the grand opening of Jaleh, the store. So she still hasn't told Max that she opened the store, but she wants to tell him when he gets there. So she's giving a speech saying she's thanking everybody for being there, and as she's giving the speech, Max arrived. So, you know, when everybody dispersed, she pulls Max to the side and she's like, listen, we're part owners of the store. This is something that's going to make money back or whatever. And he's like, well, how did you get the money for the store? Like, you know, where did you get the money from? And she's like, okay, okay, like, this is what happened. Okay, and I'm like, girl, just spit it out, because no matter how you say it, he gonna be pissed off at you. So she's like, the money that, you know, the $27,000 that you gave, I took that and used it as an investment. So Max is like, I know you're not talking about the money for my son. So he's like, he's not even upset with the store. He's upset with the fact that she went behind his back, which rightfully so, he should be. So, you know, he gets in his car and he's about to leave. Of course, here come Brandy with the shenanigans. She's jumping on the car, banging on the car, telling him that he ain't gonna leave her. And then, you know, she got off the car and he sped off, and she in the street throwing a tantrum like a daggone 5-year-old child. And then it ended there with Princess consoling her. And I'm like, Brandy, girl, bye. Because you knew what kind of reaction he was going to have, knowing that you took that money from y'all baby for that store. But that was the episode. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.